The price emotion decision regret cycle. A behavioral finance breakdown. Many investors believe they make rational decisions, but often the process follows a psychological loop. Check price, feel emotion, make decision, experience regret, repeat. Here's how this cycle works and why it's so hard to break. 1. Price checking triggers emotional activation. The moment you check a price, your brain doesn't see a neutral number. It sees gain or loss, threat or opportunity, progress or failure. According to research by Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky, outcomes are evaluated relative to a reference point. If price, your reference, perceived loss. If price, your reference, perceived gain. This activates loss aversion. Losses feel about twice as painful as equivalent gains feel good. Emotion enters instantly. 2. Emotion narrows decision quality. Once emotion is triggered, fear increases risk aversion. Excitement increases risk-seeking. Anxiety increases urgency. Neuroscientist Antonio Damasio showed that emotions are not separate from decisions. They are integral to them. But under high emotional arousal, decisions become short-term oriented. Instead of, "Does this align with my long-term thesis?" the brain asks, "How do I reduce this feeling right now?" 3. Action bias under uncertainty. Research by Michael Barilai demonstrated that under pressure, people prefer action over inaction, even when inaction statistically performs better. In investing, sell to stop the discomfort. Buy to avoid missing out. Adjust to feel proactive. The goal subtly shifts from optimizing returns to regulating emotion. 4. The regret mechanism. After acting, outcomes remain uncertain. If price moves favorably after you sell, regret. If price drops after you buy, regret. Behavioral economist Richard Thaler describes this as regret aversion. Regret is powerful because it involves counterfactual thinking. What if I had done nothing? Frequent price checking increases these counterfactual comparisons. More checks, more potential regret scenarios. 5. The reinforcement loop. Here's the full cycle. Check price. Emotional spike. Quick decision. Outcome uncertainty. Regret or relief. Increased monitoring next time. Each loop strengthens the habit. Even regret reinforces the cycle because it keeps attention locked on price. The brain learns. Price equals emotional significance. 6. Myopic loss aversion amplifies the loop. Research by Shlomo Benartzi shows that frequent evaluation increases sensitivity to losses. When you check more often, you experience more short-term losses. You react more defensively. You trade more frequently. Long-term performance declines. The cycle becomes financially costly. 7. Why doing nothing breaks the loop. When you reduce price exposure, emotional spikes decrease. Decision urgency fades. Regret frequency declines. Long-term perspective strengthens. The cycle weakens when the trigger, constant checking, disappears. Core insight. The real problem isn't volatility. It's the psychological loop. Visibility, emotion, impulse, regret. The market fluctuates regardless. But repeated exposure creates repeated emotional activation. Practical framework to break the cycle. Define fixed review intervals, monthly or quarterly. Write a pre-commitment investment policy. Automate contributions and rebalancing. Delay any trade decision by 24 hours. Ask, am I solving a structural issue or escaping discomfort? Most regret in investing does not come from patience. It comes from reaction.